This is Lexi from Run for Your Life, and I'm excited to present to you my first episode of a podcast. Yay! So we want to keep you guys engaged and informed and maybe even entertained while we are all doing what we're supposed to do, social distancing and hunkering down. What else are we doing? We're all running, maybe more alone or with one friend instead of 15 or 20 of our other friends. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this podcast with my very special first guest, Cara. Have a great day. Bye. Hey, so this is Lexi. I'm with Run for Your Life University and I guess Midtown and Piper Glen too. And I'm here doing my first ever little video podcast to support our running community while we're all doing lots of things virtually. And so my first guest today for episode 1, many of you know who she is. Her name is Cara. She's a wonderful employee of Brooks Running. She's a good friend and she's a good partner to our brand. So welcome, Cara.
Thank you, Lexi. Well, many might not know that I got my start in the running world with Run for Your Life at the university store. So before being a Brooks guru, I was mentored by Lexi. So thank
you. Cool.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you on this podcast and I don't know what I'm doing.
We're rolling.
That's right. I made a list of some questions because I'm kind of type A that way. So I'm just going to jump right in. How about it? So first question, of course, we want to know how you're doing, just in general, in the midst of things not kind of going as they normally would day to day. And to go even further, wondering, like, from a mental health standpoint, how are you doing? Like, how are you staying positive at work, at home, running, the whole deal?
Sure. So mental health is fine. I honestly think that having a little time to have a break and create space in my mind to think a little bit more deeply about things is really nice. With work, everything as far as events has been paused. We've had really good direction from senior leadership each week about progression within our abilities to help the situation and the medical staff on the front lines of this. And then more specifically with my work, we have been asked to not see accounts and to maintain social distancing. So we've had an opportunity to do some things that we wouldn't normally do. So it's sort of like a better yourself time frame. If there is a class you've been interested in taking online, take it. A lot of LinkedIn in-learning classes are available for free that we've been looking into. And my manager has said, consume content and report it back to the team. So if you're reading a book, read it, give us a little book report on it at the end of the week. Just teach us something. I am not one to get bored easily, so I'm probably curious to a fault. So I enjoy this.
Yeah. But you're somebody I know who's active all the time. So I feel like, I don't know, for you, I would think it would be a challenge maybe to have to actually slow down your day and you don't get to go out and do all the things you like to do. But
it is weird to not see people because my job consists of seeing people a lot. So it's definitely been an adaptation, but as far as being active, I'm still able to go outside, run, walk.
Yeah, so that was my other question was, how are you managing running, but then managing social distance and all that good stuff?
Yeah, just going on my own. I have met with a few friends to, like, we don't hug, we keep our distance, but we'll just run. It's not like there are no high fives involved, but
yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Certain friends, like, I would just come up and give them a big hug.
Right.
And I'm like, oh gosh,
can't do that.
I can't do this.
I went running
after this. do you
Yeah,
think?
I went running yesterday morning, and my friend with me wanted to pet a dog that she saw, and the couple said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, we're not letting anybody pet our dog right now." So, and you know, that's you can do that.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah. So, all right. So the topic I thought would be fun to talk about because, or maybe to help keep people motivated, is marathon. So lots of people have trained their hearts out to run a marathon this spring, whether it's Boston or others. And so I thought we could just share our experiences of preparing for a marathon, running the marathon from your perspective, which is with obviously a lot more like high school, college official training versus mine, which is pretty much self-taught. So first question for you, do you like the marathon?
Um, what stage of the marathon are we talking about here?
I guess,
I
I
like it
don't
when all
know.
my friends say, "Oh, let's go run a marathon," and I think, "Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea, sure." And then I get into it, I'm like, "Why am I doing this?"
Ah,
Oh yeah, it's all right. It's not my favorite race.
yeah,
I don't I don't know. There's something that keeps me coming back.
yeah.
Do you?
I really love how it feels when I'm done.
Yeah.
And I feel like excited that I actually ran that far because I'm in a small group of people who can do it. So I feel grateful that I could do it.
Huge accomplishment.
Yeah. But I do feel like it's, I don't know, there's a point at which in the training it does get kind of tiring. But anyway, um, yeah, I wouldn't like choose to go out and run that far ever. But I don't know. It's a goal. So
Yeah.
kind
I
of gets
think
in my
that's
brain.
probably um the biggest part that keeps me coming back is that it's that goal.
Yeah.
Can I do it? Can I do
Right.
it faster?
Yes. Okay, and so another follow-up question. Um, have you used the same training strategy when you have run however many marathons you've run? Has it always been the same plan or?
So I've run 5 total. The first 2 were just on a whim. Didn't really know what I was doing, but figured if I ran enough, I'd be all right. That wasn't a great idea. The second 2, I followed Hanson's marathon method.
Yes.
Um, for the advanced runner, they have like a beginner, intermediate, advanced, I think.
Right.
And then this last one in the fall, I did the Marine Corps marathon. And I only ran it because I had been running a lot. And um, within Brooks, there was the opportunity to work the expo and run the race and have it comped. So I'm like, you know what? I'm in decent shape. Let's go run.
Mm-hmm. You ran happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Always.
Cool. Um, do you have any like specific, or my official question, I guess, was what tools did you glean from high school or college running that you utilize today? Like certain things that you just feel like you're still using or that you're grateful that you have in your running program?
Every coach I've ever had emphasized getting enough sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's always at the forefront of like a training program, but that definitely comes into play when I intentionally train for a marathon. So going to bed early, getting up
Mm-hmm.
early, um, and I think listening to my body is another thing that through high school and college, I've matured my relationship with this sport and understanding when I'm hurting or aching, it's okay to walk. It's okay to take a day off. It's
Yeah.
okay to switch up your training. Just adapt.
Yeah, I've had to do that before, running in the pool instead of on the greenway. There's been
Yeah,
like,
you have had a lot of challenge
oh,
with that.
just
I
like,
think you've done
oh.
well with it.
Yeah, I think it's, well, like you say, it's learning what, or I tell runners I help, like figuring out what training will work for your body. And sometimes you endure an injury to figure that out, you know? Um,
Yeah.
and then you moved here from Michigan, right? Yeah.
Correct.
All right. So did you find in your move down to the South from there, were there any challenges in adapting to running in a different region of the country?
The heat was significant. In the summer in Michigan, you could run midday and it would be hot, but you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just can't do it down here. So now throughout the summer, getting up early, like the 5 a.m. is
Mm-hmm.
kind of habitual now,
Yeah.
just to get the run in.
Yeah, I had a good friend who said that when I was training this past summer, I was still feeling bummed out that I wasn't, hitting the official times I thought I needed to hit for the few structured workouts I did. And he said, you know what, the you're not going to hit those times in these conditions, but it will pay dividends the day of your race when the weather is like remarkably cooler and not as
That's
humid.
a really good point.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's see. What's your strategy for like fueling while you're training? Like I've talked to a lot of high school and college athletes who they'll run 20 miles and they don't bring water, or they're not used to using gels. And so how have you kind of incorporated that as a younger adult distance runner?
I probably started incorporating this more within the past 2 years, but obviously knowing where water stops are along your route has always been essential. In high school, our coach used to drive the van around with a big cooler of water and
Oh, that's
cups.
nice.
He was awesome. But as an adult, I try to know where key water fountains are. I'll pack goos for my long runs. So if I'm running, upwards of 14 miles, I try to, every 45 minutes to an hour, get some glycogen in me. And then for recovery afterwards, I do some tailwind, anything with electrolytes added. So the water is good to replenish, but some of those other things are just as important that aren't always touched on. I will say too, I try to drink a glass of water before I get out the door in the morning. So when I first wake up, instead of my first fluid being coffee, I try to drink water.
Oh yes, that's what Will keeps telling me. Would you please just drink a glass of water, like as the first thing, just kind of as a chore?
Sometimes it helps to just leave it next to my bed. So when I first wake up in the morning, it's there, it's room temperature, and it's like, all right, check this off my list, drink
Yes,
water.
yes, yes. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and then during the race, or we already covered that, I guess. During the race itself, do you carry your own nutrition? Do you use what's on the course? Do you use a handheld water bottle? How do you manage all that the day of the race?
I will stick my goos into my shorts. The Brooks women's short, the chaser short, has a little pocket that sits really close to body in the waistband. So
Mm-hmm.
I like to put a couple gels in there. And then as far as water, I'll do the water stops.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I can't stop during a marathon. I think I won't finish if I will stop. So I'll just grab the water. I like clench it closed and I sip it out of the side and I just keep
Yeah,
running through the water stops.
yeah, yeah. I have a friend who doesn't stop at all, and that's what I need to do just to cut down on.
It's different for everyone, but that's
Well,
just me.
I should stop
Maybe
less
it's
at
mental.
least. Okay, let's see. Oh, and then one other question specific to you for the marathon. While you're running the marathon, where's your mind at? And it probably changes. It goes to all different places, I'd imagine. But do you have a game plan for how to keep your head in the game?
Yeah, two things come to mind. One, I'll have mantras. Sometimes it's Des Linden keep showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just get through it, get
Right.
through it. Or sometimes it's you're fine. You're fine. Like even though this hurts, like you're fine.
Yeah.
You're not gonna die. You're fine.
Right.
And then also the night before the race, I'll get my bib number from the expo, and then I will write down 26 names as like an intentional mile for 26 people
On the bib.
on the back of my bib.
Got it. I've heard some people write it on their arm. I don't know. I would think it would sweat off. You'd have to, I don't know. Sounds too much. Okay. And then the last question to kind of, I don't know, consider your experience, and then people in the community probably having these thoughts. So with the race calendar really bare the next few months, lots of runners in Charlotte and all over, they thought they were going to run the Boston Marathon in April, or they had a race on the calendar that was going to qualify them for Boston, or they are in a beginner program and want to run their first half marathon. And now all that's kind of come to a screeching halt. So maybe just based on your tenure with running and your relationship to running, do you have any insights to share for these people, or kind of, I don't know, words of positivity for them?
I would reinforce that I might be a year or two off, but there have been 123 Boston marathons. I'm pretty sure they're going to run 124. So you might have to wait 365 days.
Right.
But don't lose hope. You can always still do it. Time won't run out.
Right. I challenged my runners I coach to think more about like why they actually run. Is it really just for that medal or that t-shirt or that clock time, when you're actually out running with the people you care about during the week? For me, that's why I run, sometimes it's the only time I get to see that one person. So anyway.
I think that can go towards your goals too. Like maybe you just shift your goals from it being a race goal this year to maybe a consistency goal or a distance goal. But maybe that just takes some reevaluation. It's a little different right now for everybody.
For sure. Well, those are all the questions I have for you. Do you have any for me?
Well, I sure do, Miss Lexi.
Okay, sweet.
Right now, how is Run for Your Life doing things differently during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yes, we are, well, like everybody, I feel like we're managing our brand and what we want to provide one day at a time and adapting the way we need to be available literally for goods and services. We still are providing that basically electronically or by phone. So if you need the new Ghost 12 in a size 10 and we have a pair, we can ship them to you direct from our store, or we can ship them direct from Brooks. So you can call in your order or email your order. We are still.
But the sale would still go to your local store, correct?
It would, correct, yes.
Awesome.
And that way, if you're part of our Run for Rewards program, you get points, still added to your account there and all that good stuff. We're offering the curbside delivery or curbside pickup still. Our hours as of today, Monday, March 30th, are 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday. That would be subject to change, of course. And then this is one new effort. We're just trying to make sure we're still out there. We want everybody to know we're still here for them, whether it's runners who run with our run groups or frequent customers or just fans of our social media. We want you to know that we care about you and we want to help you kind of get through this with your runs and all that good stuff. That's all I have.
That's great. That curbside pickup, you're getting really good at this like handoff.
Right, sort of contactless. There's your bag. There's your gel. Yep.
That's awesome. What would your running shoes say to you if they could talk?
Lexi, go faster.
Yeah.
Yes, I know I can go faster. So my running shoes probably think I can do bigger things than I'm doing. So
whatever your inspiration is, just take it.
Yes. Right now I'm just moving.
Who is your favorite under the radar Instagram account that I should be following?
Yeah, I don't know if she's under the radar, but she's, probably 20 years younger than me, but it's Amy Wilichowski, Wilichowski, I believe. And she just recently became officially a registered dietitian, and she's a real young fashionista. She's got hip fashion sense, and she likes to try all different types of exercise, and she'll post stories telling you how she liked this gym or that gym or this bar class or this instructor. And she loves food. And so she's also a really good cook and baker. And she's just not just entertaining, but informative. She's really good at how she records videos of her making all sorts of delicious foods. And it's like not overly produced. It's just really good. So she's really neat.
Sounds like someone else I know.
Oh boy.
I can tell why you relate. I love it. Also, for anybody who's viewing this right now, Lexi makes incredible recipes out of the Eat Slow, Run Fast Shalane Flanagan cookbook, and sometimes she makes me lunch.
Oh, yeah, I do like to give people food, so maybe I'll put some of my food cooking on this hokey little podcast. We'll see.
That's great. Who made the list that was on the website called Let's Run of the most influential Charlotte runners?
Yeah.
You heard about this?
I just Googled it because I didn't know what you're talking about. Here's Francis. Was it on in 2019?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a mystery. We don't know.
Oh, wait, you're
I don't know who wrote that post.
Who made the list?
Yeah.
You're wondering.
Oh, not who made the top 20 or whatever.
I'm like, I don't know. They're all the obvious people.
No, who came up with that list?
I have no idea.
Yeah, me too.
You should find out.
Mystery continues.
Yeah, it's got it. Well, I think their handle was on there. Somebody needs to stalk them. I don't know. We'll have to.
Well, now we have quarantine free time, so.
Right. Stay tuned. We'll
report back in the next episode. Who is the biggest dreamboat runner in Charlotte?
Oh boy. Well, I recently joined Strava, so now I can see all of their runs. I don't know. There's so many. There's so many.
You have speed goggles for everyone.
I do. If you're fast, I think you're cool.
You're awesome.
Yeah, that's
all. You are cool.
Enough said.
Completely unrelated to running, what would be a super cool experience that you'd like to see happen in Charlotte, and why?
Yeah, you said super cool experience. This sounds so dorky, but
anything goes.
Mandatory composting.
I love this.
Because now we're all cooking. So now we have all these scraps. We're just like, in some way, like I've thought about just the waste that this whole thing is going to create. And there's all the takeout is going to create a lot of unnecessary waste. But anyway, yeah, composting. I feel guilty.
There is Crown Town Compost here in Charlotte. I don't know all the details on the services they provide, but
yeah, they're in most of the like Charlotte proper neighborhoods. They're not in my neighborhood, but I know Brian Mister knows more detail about it because he told me about it. But I think you might be able to bring your stuff to them if you wanted to. Like you could collect it over a certain amount of time and then drop it off to them. I'm not supposed to touch my face.
That's
anyway,
great.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For half an hour.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Good seeing you.
Yeah, and I hope you come back again should this podcast continue. I'm sure it will.
Sounds great.
Okay, see you later. Bye. Hey, thanks so much for watching my first episode of a podcast for Run for Your Life. I look forward to doing more of these, and hopefully I get a little better at the editing and all that good stuff. But I want to thank Cara, our guest, and I want to thank Helen Taylor for helping me figure out some of the tech. I'll thank my MacBook. I'll thank my kitty, Denali, Frances the dog. She was in there too. And what else? YouTube for the free music. That was awesome. Okay, have a great day. Bye.